Imagine a world vastly different from our own, a world where the familiar sights and sounds of medieval life are interwoven with the hum and clatter of machinery. Picture the 8th century not as a time of burgeoning feudalism, but as the dawn of the Industrial Revolution. This is not the history we know, but a reimagined past where the seeds of technological advancement were sown much earlier. Picture the 8th century not as a time of burgeoning feudalism, but as the dawn of the Industrial Revolution. Imagine walking through cobblestone streets not lined with simple market stalls, but with bustling factories and workshops. The air thick with the scent of progress as blacksmiths and artisans work side by side with early engineers and inventors. The landscape is dotted with towering chimneys, and the rhythmic pulse of machinery echoes through the valleys. What if, instead of watermills and hand looms, the roar of machines filled the air, the gentle creak of wooden wheels replaced by the relentless churn of gears and pistons? Imagine the ingenuity of the time harnessing the power of water and wind to drive complex machinery, laying the groundwork for future innovations. The early factories, though primitive by today's standards, represent a monumental leap in human capability and ambition. What if, instead of agrarian life, cities teemed with factories and industries? The pastoral scenes of shepherds and farmers give way to the dynamic energy of industrial towns. The economy, once reliant on agriculture, now thrives on manufacturing and trade. The social fabric of society begins to change as new classes of workers and entrepreneurs emerge, driven by the opportunities that this early industrial age presents. This is the world we are about to explore, a world where the gears of progress turned a millennium earlier, a world where the spirit of innovation and the drive for efficiency transform every aspect of life. From the tools used in daily tasks to the grand structures that define the skyline, everything is touched by the hand of technological advancement. This alternate history challenges our understanding of progress and the timeline of human achievement. The 8th century, typically associated with the rise of Charlemagne and the Carolingian Renaissance, takes on a whole new meaning. Charlemagne, known for his efforts to revive learning and culture, now also becomes a patron of technological innovation. His court, a hub of intellectual and mechanical activity, attracts inventors and thinkers from across the continent. The architectural marvels of the time, infused with industrial elements, stand as testaments to this unique blend of tradition and progress. Instead of a slow climb towards the high Middle Ages, humanity experiences a sudden and dramatic leap into an era of unprecedented technological advancement. The pace of change accelerates as each new invention builds upon the last. The cumulative effect of these innovations propels society forward at an astonishing rate. The medieval world, once characterized by its gradual evolution, now becomes a crucible of rapid transformation and discovery. The familiar narrative of history is upended as the clang of the blacksmith's hammer is replaced by the rhythmic churning of mechanical contraptions. The traditional crafts, while still valued, are increasingly supplemented by new techniques and tools. The blacksmith, once a solitary figure, now works within a network of specialists and machinists. The workshop evolves into a factory, a place where ideas are turned into reality on an unprecedented scale. This early industrial revolution, much like its counterpart in our own timeline, is not a singular event, but a confluence of factors. It is driven by a combination of necessity, curiosity, and opportunity. The challenges of the time, from resource scarcity to social upheaval, spur innovation and adaptation. The exchange of knowledge, facilitated by trade and communication, accelerates the spread of new ideas and technologies. It is a period of rapid innovation, where scientific inquiry intersects with practical ingenuity. The thinkers of the time, inspired by both ancient wisdom and contemporary challenges, push the boundaries of what is possible. Their experiments and discoveries lay the foundation for future advancements, creating a legacy that will shape the course of history. The spirit of collaboration and competition drives progress as inventors and craftsmen strive to outdo one another. It is a time when the impossible becomes possible and the world, as we know it, changes forever. The dawn of machines in the 8th century redefines our understanding of history and progress. It challenges us to imagine a different path, one where the seeds of modernity are planted much earlier. As we explore this alternate timeline, we gain new insights into the nature of innovation and the enduring human spirit of discovery. At the heart of this early industrial revolution lies mechanization. This period marks a significant turning point in human history, where manual labor began to be replaced by machines, leading to profound changes in various sectors, particularly agriculture and textiles. Imagine water wheels no longer just grinding grain, but powering looms and spinning yarn at an unprecedented rate. These water wheels harness the power of flowing rivers, converting natural energy into mechanical work. This innovation not only increased productivity, but also set the stage for future technological advancements. This newfound efficiency revolutionizes textile production, making fabrics more readily available and affordable. The ability to produce textiles at a faster rate meant that clothing and other fabric goods could be distributed more widely, breaking the barriers of class and making fashion accessible to a broader population. The effects ripple through society, transforming fashion, trade, and even social structures. Markets once dominated by handmade goods now bustled with machine-produced textiles, altering the dynamics of trade and commerce. This shift also influenced social hierarchies, as access to affordable clothing became a symbol of changing times. Agriculture, the backbone of every civilization, also undergoes a dramatic transformation. The introduction of mechanized tools and techniques began to replace the age-old methods of farming, which had been largely unchanged for centuries. The invention of the seed drill, centuries ahead of its time, enables farmers to sow crops with greater precision and efficiency, leading to increased yields and a surplus of food. This device allowed seeds to be planted at the correct depth and spacing, ensuring better growth and reducing waste. This, in turn, allows for a population boom and fuels the growth of cities. With more food available, populations began to grow and people started to migrate towards urban areas in search of new opportunities and better living conditions. Farming, once a labor-intensive endeavor, gradually becomes more mechanized, freeing up manpower for other industries. This shift not only increased agricultural productivity but also allowed many former farm workers to seek employment in the burgeoning industrial sector. However, this shift is not without its challenges. The transition from manual to mechanized farming brought about significant social and economic upheaval. Many farmers found themselves struggling to adapt to the new technologies and the changing economic landscape. The mechanization of agriculture displaces farmers, forcing them to seek new livelihoods in burgeoning urban centers. This mass migration from rural to urban areas led to the rapid expansion of cities, but also created new social challenges, such as overcrowding and the need for adequate housing and infrastructure. The social fabric of rural life begins to unravel, replaced by a new order dictated by the rhythms of the factory floor. Traditional ways of life were disrupted, and communities had to adapt to the new industrial age. This period of transition laid the groundwork for the modern world, with its complex interplay of technology, society, and economy. The thirst for innovation in this new world doesn't stop at textiles and agriculture. It extends deep into the earth, where the quest for resources drives humanity to explore and exploit the subterranean world. Mining, an ancient practice, sees a renaissance during this period as the demand for raw materials skyrockets. The ingenuity of miners and metallurgists paves the way for groundbreaking advancements that will shape the future. The demand for coal, the lifeblood of the Industrial Revolution, leads to advancements in mining techniques. As the need for energy sources grows, miners develop new methods to extract coal more efficiently and safely. These innovations include the use of timber reinforcements to prevent cave-ins and the introduction of ventilation systems to reduce the risk of suffocation and explosions. The relentless pursuit of coal drives miners to dig deeper than ever before, uncovering rich veins that were previously inaccessible. New methods of extraction are developed, allowing access to deeper, richer veins of coal. The introduction of steam-powered pumps revolutionizes the industry, enabling miners to remove water from flooded shafts and access previously unreachable depths. This technological leap not only increases the yield of coal, but also sets the stage for further advancements in mining equipment and techniques. The deeper miners go, the more they learn about the geological formations and the resources hidden within them. This in turn fuels the development of steam power, albeit in its nascent stages. The early steam engines, though rudimentary, mark the beginning of a new era in industrial machinery. These engines are initially used to pump water out of mines, but their potential applications quickly expand. Inventors and engineers see the promise of steam power and begin to experiment with ways to harness it for transportation, manufacturing, and other industries. The synergy between mining and steam power creates a feedback loop of innovation and progress. Metallurgy also experiences a boom. The increased availability of coal fuels the development of more efficient and powerful furnaces, capable of reaching higher temperatures and producing stronger metals. Blacksmiths and metal workers armed with these new tools push the boundaries of their craft. They experiment with different alloys and techniques, creating metals that are not only stronger, but also more versatile. This period sees the birth of new metallurgical processes that will have lasting impacts on various industries. Improved furnaces, fueled by readily available coal, allow for the production of stronger and more durable metals. The ability to produce high-quality iron and steel transforms the landscape of manufacturing and construction. These metals are used to create everything from simple tools to complex machinery, laying the foundation for future technological advancements. The improved furnaces also enable the mass production of metal goods, making them more accessible to a wider range of people and industries. Iron, once a precious commodity, becomes more commonplace, used not just for tools and weapons, but also for the construction of larger, more complex machines. The proliferation of iron and steel leads to the development of new types of machinery that are more efficient and reliable. These machines, in turn, drive further industrial growth and innovation. The widespread availability of strong metals also has a profound impact on infrastructure, as iron and steel are used to build bridges, buildings, and other structures that were previously unimaginable. This early leap in metallurgy has cascading effects. The advancements in metal production and processing lead to the creation of new industries and the expansion of existing ones. The improved quality and availability of metals enable the development of more sophisticated tools and machinery, which in turn drive further innovation and economic growth. The ripple effects of these advancements are felt across society as new opportunities and challenges arise in response to the changing technological landscape. Improved weaponry gives rise to new military tactics and strategies, upsetting the balance of power on the global stage. The availability of stronger and more reliable weapons changes the nature of warfare, as armies can now equip their soldiers with better armor and more effective offensive tools. This shift in military capabilities leads to the development of new tactics and strategies as commanders adapt to the changing realities of the battlefield. The impact of these advancements is felt far beyond the battlefield, as the balance of power between nations and empires is reshaped. The ability to produce metal in larger quantities also contributes to the growth of infrastructure, as bridges, roads, and buildings become more sophisticated and durable. The use of iron and steel in construction allows for the creation of structures that are not only stronger but also more complex and ambitious. This period sees the rise of iconic engineering feats, as architects and builders push the limits of what is possible with the new materials at their disposal. The improved infrastructure supports further economic growth and development as transportation and communication networks expand and improve. The world, literally and figuratively, is being reshaped. The advancements in mining and metallurgy have far-reaching implications, transforming not only the physical landscape but also the social and economic fabric of society. As cities grow and new industries emerge, the way people live and work is fundamentally altered. The innovations of this period lay the groundwork for future technological revolutions, setting humanity on a path of continuous progress and discovery. The thirst for innovation, once ignited, continues to drive us forward, ever deeper into the unknown.